What happens if you put $5 a day into the stock market every single day for 1 year and 11 months? Well, that's exactly what I'm sharing with you in today's video, giving you an update and giving you a little bit more. By the way, the reason I started this was this right here, Starbucks. Now, I'm not saying that you have to give up coffee by any means, but for me, I was drinking Starbucks every single day and sometimes twice a day. I had a problem. So I thought instead of doing that every day, I'm going to take a little bit of a chill pill and calculate about $5 a day. And instead of spending it on the Starbucks, I'm going to take that money and put it into the stock market. So that way, I'm not pissing my money away. I'm actually investing and letting it grow. Because you know what they tell you. You got to start your retirement account. And then you have to pay down your debt. And then you have to do all these things. And then you're left over with like no money. And you're like, hey, all these other people are investing their extra money. I don't really have a lot of money. And that's where I thought, well, for only just $5, or maybe giving up Starbucks, or giving something up in your budget that doesn't bring you a lot of value. It doesn't have to be Starbucks. Make it something else. What would happen if you just put that in and let it grow over time? Well, before I give you my results, I want to share a little bit of an update. And that update has to do with this comment right here. Now, I got this comment on one of my past $5 a day update videos, and it says, I've been doing $150 a day among various investments. Now that's incredible. And so that's the whole thing to think about. As you start with maybe just $5 a day in the beginning, the goal would be over time, we scale that up as we make more money, pay down debt, find ways to cut costs, things like that. So let's take a look here at NerdWallet's compound interest calculator. If we have $150 that we throw in to the S&P 500. That's the top 500 companies in America. And every single month, we're going to put in an additional $150 every single month. Now, that's just like almost $5 a day. For the next 30 years of growth, estimating a rate of return of 7.4%. But hold on a second. Where did I get 7.4%? Why so precise? Well, we do a little search and we ask, hey, what's the average return of the S&P 500 index fund over the last 100 years? That's where I got the number. Now, if you look right here on Google, the actual yearly average return is 10.53% over the last 100 years. But what I want to do is account for inflation. So, adjusted for inflation, the 100-year average stock market return, including dividends, is 7.389%. I want to round that up to 7.4%. So if you only did $5 a day for the next 30 years, you didn't add any more, you literally only do $5 a day, in 30 years, you will have a total of $190,167. Of course, you're probably saying to yourself,
but that's not a lot of money.
No, it's not. But I'm going to show you how that can actually grow by investing $5 a day and actually showing you because I've been doing it for the last 1 year and 11 months. I can't believe we're almost at 2 years of doing this. But let's talk about the guy that's doing $150 a day. That's what the comment said. It wasn't a month. It was a day. Don't worry. I can actually read. But I wanted to share what $5 a day looked like first. Let's take that. If it's $150 a day, and we multiply that by 365 days in the year, that gives us a total of $54,750 that this person is investing. That is a lot of money, but what an awesome flex goal. That's pretty cool. If we divide that by 12 months in a year, that gives us $4,562 every single month. So instead of $150 a month, we'll do $4,562 a month, the same years of growth at 30, and 7.4% average rate of return. Now look at the picture. After 30 years, you have $5,746,000. And the green graph right here actually represents the growth of the stock market. Take a look at this. Your total interest is $3,346,000 in this case right here. The next year, remember this number, $3.7 million. By investing and having that much money, you actually grow an additional $400,000 in investment growth, which means you can actually technically withdraw that and live off of that, which means you're financially independent and you can live off your investments and not have to go to that 9 to 5 anymore. And for those of you who are thinking, well, that's not a lot of money and that's a long period of time to wait 30 years. After all, I'm like 40 years old. I'm not 18 anymore. I got you. I feel you. And I'm right there with you. Let's knock this down to 10 years of growth. So in 10 years of growth, that same aggressive behavior, only starting with $150 and then putting that $150 in every single day, that growth at an average rate of return of 7.4% equals $796,922. Growing here, your total interest in the final years of $196,000, that next year at $249,000. Still a good amount of interest growth, and your total balance with that $800,000 is still something to be very excited about, and it only takes you 10 years to get there. So let's start small, $5 a day, with the intention that we're going to grow to that awesome comment of $150 a day. Let's talk actual results. So what I'm doing right now is I actually have a few different investments. Now, I started back in January of 2022 investing in the S&P 500, and that is ticker symbol VOO. I'm using Vanguard's index fund for this particular investment. Now, you don't have to use VOO. You can use whatever tracks the S&P 500. There's a lot of them. SPY is another one. It doesn't matter. Do your own research. Do what works best for you. Now, as of the recording of this video right now, it's going for about $398 per share. But I actually went back to my video I did at the beginning of this year, which means after 1 year from January 2022 until January 2023, here's what VOO looked like at that time, at the beginning of this year that we're in right now. So I had a total of only 5.1 shares with a market value of $1,844. So over a course of 1 year, I built up a total fund of $1,844. And just to imagine, it only took $5 every trading day. That's pretty awesome. But I was down on my money when we entered this year. Look at this. My total return was actually negative $63, which represents negative 3.35%. Not too good. Where are we at here today? Well, let's take a look. Right here down below, you can see I've now built up to 9 shares of VOO. Because of obviously continuous investments, it's grown from that 5.1 to the 9 shares. My market value is now at an impressive $3,593. But take a look at my total return, $163.35. Now that only represents a 4.76% increase in total return. Not that 7% average we looked at, because I'm still very small in the market. I mean, we're looking at an average rate of return over 100 years of the S&P 500. I've only been in this for 1 year, 11 months. So the point is, we're going to let this grow over time, and the longer you hold, the longer you tend to benefit if past results equal future performance. So I had a little bit of fun with this, and I thought I gotta also do crypto because everybody talks about crypto, and why not just be a little bit strange and put $5 a day into crypto too? So it's a little bit interesting, right? You got $5 a day going into the stocks, and then another $5 a day going into what I chose, which was Ethereum. Now, in the beginning, I had a total of 1.05 Ethereum at a value of $1,421. But look at that total return, absolutely miserable at negative $367. That is a drop of 20% of my total investment. Not cool, and that's the problem sometimes with crypto. It can go very high, it can go very low. It is a wild child, it is a roller coaster, and if you can't handle that, I recommend you just kind of avoid that and stick with index funds. There's so much more. But flash forward to today, I'm actually almost up to 2 Ethereum. I'm super excited about that. The fact that only $5 a day got me here, 1.911348 is what we got right now, with a value of $3,621. But take a look, the total return is now really a lot better, at least for now. So total return is $355, that's 10.91%. But I'll be honest with you, as the days go on, this thing can go positive, it can go negative. It's just a wild child. That's just the way it is. But I gotta talk to you about my 2024 plan. So I'm about to hit 2 years of doing this challenge. Now, in the crypto market, that actually trades 24/7. Some people don't realize this. Crypto is always open. So every single day, it automatically invests $5 a day for me. I don't have to worry about doing it. Every single day it happens. But the difference is with VOO, it trades with the stock market. The stock market isn't open 365 days, 24/7. It is only open typically Monday through Friday. And then on the major holidays, it's also closed. And that's caused a little bit of an issue, calculation-wise. How do you truly do $5 a day? Do you do $5, and maybe add a little bit more, maybe do $7 a day so that it makes up for the weekends? But then what about the holidays? To confuse myself less, I am going to take a little bit of a different stance starting in January 2024. In fact, January 1st, I'm adjusting my automatic investment program. Here's how it's going to work. Using a very simple Google search, how many trading days will there be in 2024? It spits back 252 trading days. So taking a little bit of math here, I'm going to take $5 a day times 365 days in a single year. That gives me a total of $1,825 that I will invest. But what I want to do is divide that by 252 trading days. That means I'm going to up my investment to $7.24 every single trading day in the automatic investment app. Whether you use Webull, whether you use Robinhood or Public or whatever else to invest your $5 a day, in order to not have to worry about, okay, did I invest that random Arbor Day or Labor Day or Christmas or whatever? You don't have to worry about all that. And you don't have to worry about the weekends. You can do $7.24, which automatically makes it $5 every single day because you're making up for all those weekends and holidays. How are you doing with your $5 a day challenge? Comment down below. Let's have a conversation. Make sure you subscribe to learn all of my updates coming forward. Check out this video next, and we'll see you on the next video.